We made it. We're in Budapest. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, we actually have something we do want to talk to you guys about for today's video. We're staying in the UK for 90 days completely for free. No Airbnbs, no hotels, no rent, and it's all thanks to something called Trusted House Sitters.
Yep.
In this video, we're going to break down exactly how we did it, how we landed 2 sits in Wales and Scotland for 90 days, and some things that we've learned along the way already.
Welcome back to Rootless Roads. Okay, so if you have never heard of it, Trusted House Sitters is pretty much a platform that connects homeowners and travelers.
So the trade-off is basically the homeowner gets a free pet watch, which if you have pets and have ever tried to board them before, you know how incredibly expensive that is. And the traveler, us, gets a free place to stay. It's actually a really, really cool platform because everybody across the board wins.
How did we find out about this?
I think on YouTube.
Yeah,
I think
YouTube.
we found it out through YouTube. So hopefully we can give back some of the love. We're actually going to walk through here in a second how we actually managed to get these books with a new profile with no reviews and really nothing going on, and got really lucky with these 2 sits and how we did it. And yep.
One big thing on why we decided to go in this route to go explore UK and Scotland is because within traveling Europe, not being European citizens, we only have a 90-day time allotted to spend in this certain zone called the Schengen zone. The Schengen zone is pretty much all European countries besides a couple. So over a 180-day period, you can spend 90 days in the Schengen zone and then you have to leave for 90 days. So that is where it comes in, our travels to UK and Scotland.
We got pretty lucky that the UK and Scotland, Ireland, all those countries over there are not in the Schengen. It's a pretty sweet spot to reset that 90-day Schengen zone for us. So yeah, we're super excited about that. We're going to see Wales, going to see Scotland. We're going to see a couple big cities throughout that as well. And it's obviously free, which makes it that much more exciting.
Exactly.
So it makes this long-term travel thing a lot cheaper when you average things out by getting a free place to stay, obviously. The really cool thing about Trusted House Sitters as well is there's a ton of house sits all over the world. They're definitely very centralized in the UK. For whatever reason, it is really popular in the UK. But we were looking and there's a handful in places like the Netherlands, there was a handful in Germany, there was a handful in France, there's actually a ton in the US as well. So this can be something for our fellow United Statesians to leverage as well. There's also a ton of different durations, a ton of different time frames. So we're actually doing, I think it's about 38 days in Wales, and I believe it'll be like 42 days or something like that in Scotland. There were house sits for a night or two. There was house sits for a week. There was house sits for even longer than 45 days. I think there was one on there for 4 months or something. So yeah, there's a ton of flexibility in that platform. It's definitely worth looking at it and seeing what you can do. And I think it makes a pretty cool case to go travel.
Yeah, why not? It's free. So. Come on.
Yeah. So I guess we can talk into how we landed those sits. I'm going to briefly walk through a few things that we did in our applications and on our Trusted House Sitter profile to get these stays so quickly. Our account obviously doesn't have any reviews. It's not seasoned. It's not old. And we still got 2 of the first 3 proposals that we sent, which we're not totally sure, but we believe that is quite rare. So I just want to give a few tips on how we actually did this. So this is the Trusted House Sitter website once you're signed in. Now, one thing I do want to preface is that we did pay for the premium version. I think it was like $200 a year. So not the cheapest thing, but also when you put it into perspective, we did just get 90 days in the UK for free, and we may continue to use this. So $200 a year is very well worth it for it. So I don't entirely remember the benefits to upgrading. I want to say you actually have to upgrade in order to apply to begin with. And then I think there's 2 different plans, and it was like a $40 difference between the 2. So we just went ahead and upgraded. So I don't know if that helped, to be totally honest with you, but I do just want to say we did that. Now, when we built out our profile, what we did is a couple of things. So basically, what we focused on is trying to fill in every single possible section that it gave us. I think that's really important. Just making sure that there's nothing left blank, that we give as much details about ourselves as possible, that we used good pictures, which let me see if I can walk you through. Yeah, so I obviously use pictures with my dog back home here. Picture, just with a guitar there, picture of both Natalie and I. Again, Natalie and I, and one of my family friends and I in Spain. Again, picture with my little brothers and our dog. Business picture. This is actually the senator, I think senator of Utah, or one of them. And then another dog. This is actually my dad's dog, and another picture here. So, we tried to just add as many pictures as possible. This was the cap. Obviously, tried to use pictures of us with dogs. And then when it came into our profile, we obviously, we put in our experience. Now, I want to be totally transparent. We used a blend of our own personal writing and ChatGPT in these descriptions. So basically what I do, and here's a little hack for anybody, is when we were filling out our profile and asked us, to write our experience, what I did is I just typed out my experience, our experience myself. And then what I do is I input that into ChatGPT and basically just say, improve this a little bit. I say, don't change my language, don't change my story, keep everything the same, but just improve the grammar, improve the readability, just improve it a little bit, right? And then what GPT will do is actually take my same message and make it just a little bit better. So that's pretty much what I do for most of my writing at this point, to be honest. When we build our course for this, I will get into more detail and actually show you how I do that exactly, because it's awesome. So, and then we put what we're comfortable taking care of. We've both taken care of chickens before, small pets, dogs, cats, reptiles are easy as long as it's not like a Komodo dragon or something. We put our pets that we had back home. So Marlin was that pit bull in that first picture. Oakley was Natalie's dog, and Shepherd was a cat that we lived with as well. So again, just fill everything in that you possibly can. Don't leave anything blank. We did get a few references just from family and friends. Did this help? I don't know, but is it worth doing? Probably. It's super simple. It just gives you the ability to create a link and then send it to a friend or family member and basically say, hey, can you leave me a reference for Trusted House Sitters? So again, we got 4 of those. We probably could have gotten more, but it worked. So we did that. There's all the references. And then here's our about section. Again, basically I typed all of this out and then just threw it into GPT and said, can you make this a little bit better? We put our age, occupation, all that kind of stuff. We verified all of this. I don't know if any of this was actually required. I believe the background and ID were required, but again, we did everything that we possibly could. Same thing with why we want to house it. I wrote it out and then just slightly improved it. We put in our preferred countries, which we're obviously doing the UK for this one. And yeah, that's pretty much how we built out our profile. So, pretty simple. I think we just used good pictures of ourselves. We used pictures of ourselves with pets. We wrote these well. We added some references. We verified everything. And yeah, now the next piece I want to get into is our applications and how we actually sent those, because that's what I think really helped us secure these jobs. When we were doing research before, we found a lot of people saying it was really hard to get house sits when you don't have any reviews yet, because this basically works like Airbnb. When you book a house on Airbnb, you leave a review for the house, and the host of that house leaves a review for you. You get a few bad reviews in Airbnb, and it's going to be really hard to get a new Airbnb to accept you. I assume it's the same with Trusted House Sitters, but when you have 0 reviews, it can be difficult as well. Now, like I said, we did not run into that problem. We actually sent out a total of 3 applications, and 2 of them got accepted within the first few days, which was just ridiculous because we did not expect that. We expected to have to really work hard and send a lot of these until we finally got accepted. But we found the first 2. We found our 2 favorites, our 3 favorites really, and sent all 3. And then the first 2 accepted us, and that was that. So what I do want to do is how we talk about is how we actually sent these applications. So let me just find an example. Find a house sit. Like I said, in the course that I make, I'm going to put a lot more information in here and really walk through everything. This is just for the YouTube. This is just kind of an overview. But okay, so let's say we have this, right? We have this place in Slough, which I think's in Scotland. Slough, I don't know. Looking for a cat lover for my Oscar, who's 14. So that's an older cat. We want to make sure we are comfortable with older cats. We can look through here. Now, basically, what we would want to do is put effort into the dang application. Like if I have to say anything, that's it. Just actually read everything that they have. read. I mean, there's not a lot, right? It's the introduction, it's the home and location. You can even look at the amenity, like responsibilities, definitely read this. Just read all of this kind of stuff, okay? Because what you can do is in your application, address all of this, right? We want to go through and actually make sure that they feel comfortable with us. And we want to make sure that we do read it, because maybe in here we find, I don't know, something that we are not comfortable with doing. Maybe their dog needs medication, shoved down their throat every day, and that's not something that we're comfortable with doing. So we're just not going to apply for this. So these people are, letting you stay in their homes, and you're obviously doing them a favor as well. But just care about what they're talking about and actually read it and make sure it makes sense. And then in your application, address all of that, right? So pretty much, again, what we would do is I would read all of these and make sure it all made sense. And then in the application, I would refer to their descriptions as much as I could, right? I would use the same language. I would refer to, Oscar grazes, he doesn't eat wet food. I would even try to connect to, a cat that I had growing up, whatever. Type out this big application and then again, put it into GBC, say, keep my language, keep the structure, keep everything, just slightly improve it. Boom. And then here's the butter and the cherry on top. What we would do is actually film a 2-minute Loom video. So I'm filming this video right now. You see me in the bottom left here on Loom. What Loom does is it just records your screen like it's doing now, or I can just use the camera and only record the camera. And basically what Natalie and I did is we sat down for 2 or 3 minutes for every application that we created and just filmed a quick Loom video introducing ourselves, right? When they get a handful of applicants and one of their applications has, a very well and thoughtfully written out text that addresses all this stuff, and then a 2-minute Loom video just introducing us, I think it made it stand out, right? Because every single house that we applied to had other applications previously. So they all had applications, but we got chosen because of that. So I think that was really cool. Loom is a free app. You can download it for free, even just on your phone, right? You don't have to use Loom. We just use Loom because that's how we did it. But we could use our phone right here and just kind of talk into our phone and introduce ourselves, just because I think that really helps us stand out a little bit. So that's kind of the main thing. I'm going to wrap this up because this is getting quite long. I was supposed to keep this under 5 minutes, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Like I said, stay tuned for our course. If that is something that you're interested in for like a very deep dive into everything I just talked about on a higher level, let me know, because this platform is really dang cool. We're definitely going to be using it for the 90 days in the UK. And I mean, who knows, man? We may use it elsewhere as well. There's a lot of other spots. You can see there's 37 in the Netherlands, 75 in France, 39 in Switzerland. Right? I mean, these are expensive places too. So you can stay in all these places for free. Like, look at this beautiful house. Like, that's amazing. So yeah, pretty cool. All right.
Some other things that we have learned along the way as well. We initially were going to book a car through an app called Turo. Turo doesn't have a set age on it because we are 24. So normally with renting a car, even in the US, you have to be 25. So Turo was kind of our escape plan through that. Although throughout the process, we did find out hidden fees that they tack on to things like that. So we got hit with a young driver's fee on that app, which pretty much tripled the price of what it would be to rent a car. And that was how we were planning on getting around, because the house sits that we did get booked for are in the countryside. So we are going to need a mode of transportation. They don't have public transportation out in those areas. So we've had to find a loophole through that.
Yeah, so Turo was pretty disappointing. It brought it from like $1,300 to about $6,000, which basically ruined the whole point of doing this system. So that was a disappointing day. But basically what we did is we contacted the homeowners. So it's 2 different places. We contacted both of them, just let them know what was going on. And we actually got really lucky and we're extremely grateful. They both have vehicles that they are letting us borrow. Again, incredibly grateful for that. They are both manual, which I don't have a ton of experience with, but we will figure it out. And they obviously drive on the other side of the road. So it will be very interesting. We have 2 sits and both of them are letting us do that. But I don't know if that's a common thing, but it's definitely worth asking, because that is going to bring the overall price of this entire 90 days in the UK even lower. It's basically going to be food and activities. But like Natalie was saying, they are in the countryside, which we're actually both really excited about. I think they're both in towns of 1,200 people. Both the houses have land on them. Both of them have cattle and things along those lines, horses. So we've been doing 90 days in cities. Right now we're in Budapest, we're going to Prague, we're going to Poland after that. So it's going to be pretty cool to slow down and have some kind of countryside for a little while.
Yeah. Along with the vehicles that we are going to be borrowing, we still have to get insurance. So
Yeah.
that's something when it comes closer to the time, we will be able to get on an insurance plan. I don't remember the name of the company, but there was one that I found among my hours of research that will get us covered, but that can only be within a month before the sit. So we have to wait. We'll keep you guys updated on how that goes, getting on their insurance plan, but it is possible.
We actually have had quite a few people ask us how we are finding these sits and a little bit more about this Trusted House Sitter platform, because I don't think most people have really heard of it. So something that we do actually want to build is basically a bit of a mini course where we're going to walk through everything that we did in a little bit more detail than we did in this video. We're going to provide some actual templates, some Loom video ideas and templates, some proposal templates, some profile build out templates, things along those lines. If that's something that you would actually be interested in, definitely leave a comment below and we can start working on that and throwing it together, because it's such a cool platform where everybody does win, and yeah, it's just pretty neat. We want to spread it a little bit more. So yeah.
It's going to be a really cool experience over a long span of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep sharing updates from the UK. We'll actually fly in here in about like 80 days or something now. So we'll keep you guys posted. We'll probably make a lot more Trusted House Sitter videos, especially once we actually do it, because obviously we haven't actually fulfilled either of the house sits yet. Yeah, we'll likely be showing you guys around Budapest here in the next few videos, because that's where we're at now and that's where we're going to be for the next few weeks. It's been a pretty magical city so far. It's beautiful. Sun's shining right now. It's like 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's been pretty special so far. So that's likely what the next few videos are going to be, and hope you guys stay tuned.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Also, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe this video, as it gives us a little push to provide some more content for you guys. We love sharing our journey with you and showing you all the fun things that we're up to. So stay tuned.
Okie doke.